Rockheads. Today we're gonna do an install on Sunpai's brand new super bright high powered LED RBGW rock light. I've had a lot of people reach out to me and ask, how can I make my rock lights brighter? Supposedly these are their brightest, and they have a brand new design that I'll get into later that supposedly makes the light really, really bright and casts all the light down onto the tire. Sunpai sent me these. Today I'm just gonna do a quick review and just kind of briefly touch on the install. If you guys wanna see a full detailed install, just click on that little button above and you can go through and you can see the 8-pod rock light install I do. It's step by step. But today we're gonna just check these out and give these a review. All right, so these are Sunpai's brand new LED rock lights with this new design. They were nice enough to send these to me. What's cool about these is they actually now include white. A lot of these rock lights are only red, green, and blue. So these are the new ones. They have white, which would look really, really nice. And these are gonna be the 8 pods. So each one of these has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, has 12 diodes in each one. So these are their brightest and most intense lights that they sell. So I'm interested to see how these look. Let's open them up and take a look. Comes with a little instruction manual. This is gonna be your Bluetooth module. Everything is controlled through the cell phone. Has an actual remote. If you don't want to use your cell phone, you can physically change all the options with the remote control. And then you have the rock light itself. These are really, really cool. I've had a few pairs of rock lights before, and this is definitely the nicest design I've seen. Sunpai is saying that this design, how it's kind of like a triangle here, it's supposed to bring the light down and fill up that wheel well with light really nice. So I'm really curious to see how this new design looks. But so far very impressed by how this is designed. So the installation and really the assembly of these is super easy. Really, you have your rock light right here. Each light connects to its own little harness area. And it's very simple. It's just plug and play for the most part. You can see it has those 2 arrows, makes it nice and easy. Push those in. And then you have your negative and positive. All right, so there's a few different ways to hook this up to your battery. One way, in which I've always done with the past 2 sets that they've sent me, I just hook the power up to the power and the negative up to the negative terminal of the battery. They have recently just started sending these with their rock lights, so you can actually plug it into your fuse box, and they were nice enough to include fuses too. So you can do it like that, get the power off of your fuse box through like an accessory fuse. But my theory is if it's not broke, don't fix it. I'm just gonna plug it in to the positive terminal, and I'll show you that in a second. All right, so if you see here, all I did was take the nut off of this negative terminal and I put on the negative, and then same thing, positive to positive. I have an inline fuse here and then attached it to the positive terminal. If you want to, and you want to go the fuse route, you just have to look up in your fuse box where your accessory fuse is, and you can plug it in through your fuse box. That way you know that when you shut the car off, it's also disconnecting power. Whichever way you want to do it, I think they're both fine. This Bluetooth module is pretty smart. You can shut it off from your phone. So I'm just going to keep doing it the way I've done it. Another thing is, I highly recommend, before you start running all your wire, plug in each one of these rock lights to this harness and make sure they're working. So I already plugged this one in, it's working. I'm gonna plug in all the other rock lights and make sure that I got light, because the last thing you wanna do is to run all these drill them into the car, and then turn them on and find out they don't work. So let's go make sure these all work, and then we'll go from there. All right, so depending on what you're hooking these up to, like this is a full-size pickup truck. So in order to get the pod lights all the way to the back of the vehicle, you're gonna need some extensions. SunPi sells these. I'll put a link in the description. I think these are 10-foot extensions. So you're gonna need, if you have an 8-pod rock light set up, you're gonna need at least 4 of these to get to the back. And then the other ones you should be totally fine with without extensions, because you're just hooking it up to the front, so you'll have plenty of wire. But I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. And let's plug the rest of these in and make sure they work. All right, so I'm gonna power them on. That's the app, the SunPi app. So boom, they all work. You can see it's powered on with the white right now. The SunPi app is really cool. You can go through the entire color wheel. You can change everything. You can make your own custom colors. You can see there, it's super bright already. This is like midday too. But yeah, a bunch of different options, basically unlimited colors. You can do like, you know, you can do it to like the beats, different like songs and stuff, but tons and tons of options. Just wanted to make sure that we can get all those colors working and everything's operating as it should. All right, so you can see the first step is to take your wheel well liner out. You're going to be drilling 3 holes, 2 bolts, 2 holes for the bolts, and then a hole in the back for that power cord. You can see it coming out of the middle there. Pretty simple install. I'm not going to get into all the details, but if you want to check out my other video, you can see I go step by step. But for the most part, it's very super easy install. It's just a little time consuming just because there's so many pod lights, especially with the 8-pod light install. But yeah, we had fun with this one. It was a beautiful day, perfect kind of day for doing an install like this. Yeah, you definitely also want to have a seat or a bucket to sit on, because if you're not sitting down by the end of the day, your back is smoked. So definitely get something to sit on if you can while putting these lights in. All right, so how you put these on is there's like a little gap right here, and there's a little spot for the wire to go, and then you kind of just press this together. Now the only thing is I don't really like this setup because it's not going to be super clean when you go to mount it. So what I would suggest doing is to get a little bit more of a clean setup is to drill a hole right through the middle of this. Yeah, so drill a couple holes through here and then push this through. That way, when you go to mount it, it's going to be a nice clean, no wire sticking out of any side. It's just going to go straight through the back and then straight through the wheel well. Now that these are in, I can definitely see how this design makes sense. You know, you got about 180 degrees of coverage there with each pod light with that big obtuse angle. So having 2 of those on there, it really gives a 360 degree angle of light with the 8-pod rock light at least. So I'm really curious to see how this looks at night, but so far very impressed with the design. All right, here is the finished product. I am super impressed with Sunpie's design of these. It's you can't tell during the day, obviously, but at night you can really see how that unique design, the unique Rocklite design, gets the light to cover and fill up rather the entire wheel well. You can see it here. Since the light is going at opposite angles, you're getting that full coverage, and especially with the 8-pod Rocklite, the light is just covering the entire wheel and filling up that wheel well with light, which is exactly what you want out of a Rocklite, to get that really unique, intense, bright look. So if you guys are looking for that kind of light setup, definitely recommend checking these out. And they're not very expensive either. I'll put a link in the description, but yeah, super blown away. Can't say enough about them. You can tell here. I mean, it's crazy. It's super bright. And it's also nice that these come in white like that. Like that white just looks super clean. Doesn't even translate until you see them in real life. But yeah, hats off to Sunpie. Definitely come highly recommended from me. And also super easy install. Takes a little bit of time, but it's an easy install. So alright guys, that's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that like button. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and hit that bell notification to get updates on when new AutoHeads vehicle videos are released. Thanks guys, I'll see you next time.
I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright.